Life in the 1970s was special to say the least. As parents were struggling to put food on the table and fill up their gas tanks, young people were busy living their life and living in the moment. Girls especially were busy during this decade, and their lives were filled with moments that were common to many others during this time. So let's take a look back at things that all girls did back in the 1970s. The 1970s brought the world of Laura Ingalls Wilder to life with the show Little House on the Prairie. The pioneer spirit could be found throughout the decade, with young girls being dressed in pioneer-style clothing, from pajamas with matching bonnets to the ruffled plaid shirt with the high neck. These outfits had young girls believing they too could have survived the Oregon Trail, and it also had them absorbing all the books in the Little House on the Prairie series. Women in the 1970s loved their blue eyeshadow. The look added some glam to the otherwise natural tones that dominated the 1970s. The blue eye shades were a holdover from the 1960s, where we saw Elizabeth Taylor play Cleopatra and Andy Warhol paint his famous Blue Marilyn painting. The trend became even bigger with girls in the 70s. The key difference is that the 70s had disco, which quickly embraced the vibrant color and coupled it with metallic finishes. Rediscover your past by digitizing your family's memories with Legacy Box. Watch until the end of this video to find out more about preserving your legacy, and then visit legacybox.com/recollection. Halter tops and hip huggers also took center stage, with girls wanting to express a bit of freedom and rebellion during this time. These outfits, which exposed the midriff and highlighted curvy hips, were perfect for the dance floor, especially when getting down to the trendy new dances like the bump, the hustle, and the YMCA dance. The culture of the decade made dancing essential, and it had many girls rehearsing their moves as if they were becoming the next solid gold dancer. As women were becoming more and more independent, Hollywood followed and produced shows that were reflective of the times. Two popular shows that many women watched in the 70s highlighted working women and the inequalities they experienced. The Mary Tyler Moore Show was one of the most loved shows of all time, and featured a single woman in her 30s working for a TV station. Alice featured a single mother supporting herself and her son by working in a diner, opposite a chauvinistic boss. Both shows appealed to women and brought attention to the trials that they were facing. When Charlie's Angels debuted, it had both men and women watching, for clearly different reasons. Women of the 1970s couldn't get enough of Farrah Fawcett's hair. The feathered and flipped back look was something that every girl from that time tried to imitate. With a blow dryer and some hairspray, girls could achieve that signature look that became a definitive style from this decade. If you were one of the girls that adored Farrah Fawcett and her look, you might have owned the Lady Chic Speed Styler. This was endorsed by the superstar and made achieving her classic look even easier. Girls all over the country bought the device, which was a combination of a dryer and a hair styler, and it made mastering that feathered hair look even easier. The 1970s in general was a big decade for beauty supplies. Shampoos like Prel, Herbal Essence, Lemon Up, and Gee, Your Hair Smells Terrific are just a few of the many options that women had for washing their hair. On top of the fragrant shampoos, there was Love's Baby Soft that made young girls smell like baby powder, and Bonnie Bell Lip Smackers, which added a glossy shine to your lips while satisfying your taste buds with a variety of flavors. The epitome of daring fashion in the 1970s has to be the hot pants. These tight, shorty shorts showcased legs for days, making a bold statement anywhere they were worn, which contributed to their name. They were the center of so many heated societal debates that they earned the name hot pants. The fashion trend was another way for women to liberate their bodies and show off more skin. Teenagers' bedrooms during the 1970s were often plastered with posters. For teenage girls, it was often posters taken from their favorite teen heartthrob magazine, Tiger Beat. There was Sean Cassidy, David Cassidy, Leif Garrett, and Scott Baio, among others. And these teen idols were often papering the walls of bedrooms across the country. Girls couldn't wait to get the next issue so they could start clipping pictures out of it to completely cover their walls. The 1970s was a popular time for teenagers to hang out at a roller skating rink. But as disco came onto the scene, roller disco became all the rage. Skating went from being a pretty leisurely and fun way to spend an evening with friends to a sweaty dance party that went well into the morning hours. This was especially true in larger cities, but even small-town roller rinks were spinning disco records as teenage girls sang along as they circled the rink. During the 1970s, sewing was still an important life skill passed down from mothers, and it was also reinforced in home economics classes in high school. Girls were taught early on how to sew on a button, stitch on a patch, or mend a hole. This also led to them learning how to use a sewing machine, which allowed them to create handmade outfits. For many girls in the 1970s, Judy Blume provided a roadmap for navigating those awkward younger years. Books like Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, and Blubber were all standard reading for young people. Usually, the occasional school book fair was a perfect opportunity to pick up one of these books. And with over 82 million copies of Judy Blume books being sold, it's safe to say that lots of girls were reading these books. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and make sure to sign up for the Recollection Road newsletter using the link in the description. Recollection Road and Legacy Box both believe it's important to preserve the past. If you're like me, there's a box of your family's treasured home movies and photos tucked away somewhere, and Legacy Box can help you preserve them digitally. The process is a simple and safe solution for converting your home movies and photos to thumb drive or to the cloud. Just send in your Legacy Box filled with old VHS and camcorder tapes, film reels, and pictures, and get back digital copies that can be easily enjoyed, shared, and kept organized. It's that easy. Legacy Box is trusted by over 1 million people, and it's all done right here in the USA. Get started preserving your past today. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to get an incredible 55% off. Buy today to take advantage of this exclusive offer and send in your memories when you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to save 55% while supplies last. If you enjoyed this video, consider watching the other videos in this series. While you're at it, hit subscribe and share Recollection Road with someone you know. As always, thank you so much for watching.